It's a little bit chilly out, but I am ready for this adversary event. Let's get to it. I'm Professorvoqas, and this is Harry Potter Wizards Unite.
Hello, Professor. I didn't see you there.
Just now reopening the game because I had it open, but it's 2:08 now. And a lot of times when the event starts and you have the game open, it just has trouble transitioning over. So I find it's easier to just close the game completely, reopen it just so I can load the event as it is. Harry, thank Merlin I've found you. The Calamity is exhibiting some extremely concerning behavior. SOS Task Force members around the world are being attacked by foes resembling Fenrir Greyback and a young Draco Malfoy. As if that's not bad enough, they're guarded by two confoundable-like foes. These adversaries, as we're calling them, are unlike any foes we've faced before. They're extremely powerful, dangerous, and antagonistic, just as much, if not more so, than the real people and creatures they represent. Even experienced Aurors are having trouble subduing them. Explains why I've felt the Calamity continuing to ramp up along a growing sense of dread, even after the last surge had passed. I'd bet my wand that whoever was responsible for that is behind this as well. Then we're too late. Lethfold and Barghest, whoever they are, have already put their cryptic plan to bring them back and see their noble mission through into motion. Perhaps, but we mustn't despair. In my experience, one only truly loses when one gives up hope. So let's continue to fight back, even if things look grim, until we can get some answers and put an end to this madness. After all, now more than ever, we must be a light in the darkness. He sounds a lot like Dumbledore, that whole thing right there. All right, so just opened it up. You can see, look at that. There's a dark mark right next to me. Well, let's go right into an adversary battle. Let's see who we get. Fenrir, Draco, or somebody else entirely. I think this is Fenrir. Actually, is this somebody else entirely? No, it is Fenrir. Okay. Critical hit, first strike. And he was down. That didn't last too long. Nice. And I got a fragment for that. Fight on. By the way, so this screen right here, this fight on screen, and I'm so used to, finishing a foundable or whatever and hitting the X at the bottom, and I am glad they added this. I'm going to hit the X on purpose right now. So I hit that X, and it's like, wait a second, do you really want to flee combat? And that's where you can hit keep fighting, because I accidentally hit all the time because it's just been second nature to close out of that reward screen. Don't forget to hit fight on, and definitely don't hit fight on and then flee. You'll have to start everything over again. So fight on. Again, these first two foes, because I came to a park where there's energy, when I'm not worried about energy usage, I don't use any potions. Not to mention, you can see how much damage I do compared to how much they do to me. Nice, 2 hits in a row. Yeah, so next hit will take him out, or it should take him out. There we go. Nice, 4 fragments of the wand already. All right, so fighting on, going to Fenrir. So for these guys, for both Draco and him, and I fought both of them now multiple times, I almost can just use strong extimulos. It takes a little more energy, but again, because I'm not worried about that. Granted, that was a regular hit, but when I do a crit, it does enough damage that I can go back and forth. Draco for sure. I can use 1 strong extimulo. I get 5 casts out of it. 1 strong extimulo is enough, and I don't even have to use a healing potion unless he just got insanely lucky with his hitting. But Fenrir, same thing. I feel like a strong extimulo, as long as I get a couple crits, there you go. It's enough that I don't even need to use a potion at the end, and I'll just kind of tic-tac back and forth with him, use the energy knowing I can replenish the energy. So at this point, I'm just going back and forth with him. When I do crits, I don't do a ton of damage, but I do enough that I feel like we can go back and forth, and I can still win this battle. Yeah, see, there was another crit, and you can see he's down to 165 already. And he doesn't do too much where even if he got 3 hits in a row, I think I would still be okay. If I got too much lower, I would definitely pop a healing potion just in case. All right, this hit should take him out, which it does. Nice. Nice. 5. So I'm 5 out of 10 on the wand and 3 out of 9 out of him. Nothing extra though, really, just that Defense Against Dark Arts book. And now I can actually exit the screen. There you go. So over here in Special Assignments, if you look, we had discussed about the 20 artifact fragments. You can see I've returned 4. 4 fragments because I got 3, 1 for each guard, 1 for Fenrir, and then I got the fragment of Fenrir, and he counts 2. So everything on that page counts. So 4 fragments total. 1 from a guard, and then 2 from Fenrir. So in other words, it's 4 out of 20, so it's going to take me 5 more times defeating adversaries, and I'll complete that. So again, nothing big deal. And if you look at my damage, I'm already over halfway. So 2 adversaries in, you should almost have that done. And then the rest of the stuff will just come as it comes. There's some, you can see I got 22 experience challenge XP out of the 1500 from defeating that chain. So that would be a lot of chains. That's why I said the fortresses are going to be the way to go for that one. Nice. So armadillo bile, already seeing some ingredients. Oh, and I haven't even, what do I need? Here, let's go to my potions real quick. I stopped brewing about an hour ago, waiting for this. I think witch sharpening, yeah. I have 4 ginger root. I have just enough to at least start a witch sharpening. And let's do a strong extimulo as well. We'll start with those 2, and then I can gather up some ingredients for more witch sharpenings. Let's put the master notes in, which is going to get it all the way down to, it's an hour and 41 minutes. But again, we have the whole weekend, so if you're doing this as you go along, you are going to get these pretty quickly. I did come up to Bond Park. You can see I'm outdoors. It is a little bit chilly out, so I know my hands are going to get cold, so I'm going to probably trade off and on with maybe even getting back to my car, warming up for a little bit, and then going back out. But you can see I'm all the way on the extreme far end of one of the trails, so I could start here and just kind of move, get energy along the way. That greenhouse over there is not growing anything exciting. But anyway, in the direction I have my screen right now, I'm going to be really walking up that way to hit inns along the way. There's energy on the ground all the time. I should be able to pick up witch sharpening ingredients, which is my other plan, just to stock up on those. Even though I just showed you, I don't even need them necessarily for these guys, but while they're so abundant, I might as well collect them now and brew witch sharpenings, and then I can hold on to them for when lethals come out or just some of the harder adversaries. Speaking of which, this morning I actually fought a Narcissa. And that was the first one I had fought, and I had seen people, 2 things. People talking about how professors were the worst against adversaries. And I was like, okay, you know, I chose professor, and I knew it was a middle of the ground kind of thing. It wasn't the best at damage. It wasn't the best at defense. It wasn't the best at any of that stuff. So that was fine. But what I did find out is, and then other people were complaining about Narcissa dodging them. I fought Narcissa as a professor, and she dodged nothing. So I was like, okay, well, that's a bonus, at least for professors, our accuracy. I definitely found her much easier than the dragons that I fought. The dragons, it took me so much longer to kill them, and I was able to use a witch sharpening against her, and I think I used a witch sharpening and a strong extimulo, and then a regular extimulo just to finish her off. I think I popped a healing potion because I was just worried, but in the end, I didn't have to. She didn't end up hitting me 4 times in a row. That was all I was really worried about. So I definitely, even though she's down at the bottom as the hardest, for a professor at least, I found that she didn't dodge me. Now, I've only fought 1, so I might have just had good luck. Anyway, my goal for today is not to crush it too hard. I am going to go and get some energy and collect these ingredients. But since it starts later in the day for me here, because it's after 2 o'clock now, my real plan is Saturday and Sunday. I have the whole day off and able to play. So that's when I'm really going to crush adversaries. But anyway, let's go ahead and get out there and hit some of these adversaries. I've swung back by my car, and if you look at the top of my screen there, that greenhouse, that's where I started, and all I did was walk to where I am right now, this parking lot, back to my car. And in that time, I was at no shortage for adversaries. So I hope you're having as good a luck as I am with that, and I even know there's an adversary a little bit out of range. There was 2 of them as I approached my car, and I hit one of them. The other one is toward the top of my screen now. Not that far, though. So I know there's more coming, and this isn't even the crowded area. So I ended up getting 6 adversaries on the way to my car, essentially, and really a 7th if I had bothered to stop for it. But I wanted to stop and warm up a little, because it's been about 30 minutes. It's not freezing out, but it's cold enough that if you're out there for a while, it gets a little chilly. Anyway, over at Special Assignments, you can see 6,000 damage to adversaries, definitely got that. So I got my Defense Against the Dark art book, and then 20 artifact fragments. After I did 5, that was 20 fragments, and then I even did that 6th one, which was another Draco. Also, just to reiterate, you can see my 1500 challenge XP. I'm at 132 out of 1500, and that's after doing 6 adversaries. So they really, just to reiterate, there really aren't the way to go to get that. You go to fortresses. And I've still got to do those 35 foes. Not doing that today. That'll be something, I might even do that tonight. That's really not something that is as exciting. Another thing to note, use 3 wit sharpening potions in battle against adversaries. You notice I haven't done that, mainly because since it's Draco and Fenrir, I never need it. I actually did have one Fenrir and actually one Draco where I had really bad luck with my crits and with them getting extra attacks against me, to the point that I didn't want to use wit sharpening, but I actually had to just pop a healing potion just to heal myself back up, and then I just did regular hits on them. But most of the time, I didn't even have to do that. It was usually one strong extimulo, and that pretty much got me through it. And the reason I'm using the strong extimulus is because I got to use 7 anyway. Although one of the Dracos, I did try a regular extimulo and then another regular extimulo, and was able to make it through with that too. So that was just another option. I was just using the strongs because of this. So you can see 5 out of 7. The 1 Draco, the 6 adversaries, one of those was the 2 regular extimulos. The using 1 edible dark mark, I'll wait till I'm at home for that. Might even start tomorrow's episode at home. Use that, fight some adversaries. In addition, in the night bus, the right above that, the find 3 wit sharpening gifts, they are dropping from the night bus. They're supposed to be more prevalent. But since I'm here, I might actually get lucky and get them from some of these inns and stuff while I'm going around, or some of these greenhouses. Speaking of ingredients, I do have armadillo bile, I have ground scarab beetles, and then newt spleen. It's still that ginger root. I picked up 1 bundle and it had 2, and I'm still looking for more. So I'm on the lookout for that. I've got potions brewing anyway, so I've got some time to collect ingredients before I'm going to need to queue something up. So I'm doing pretty well on adversaries so far. They've been spawning pretty good for me, especially when I keep moving. I pretty much just hit another one within a very short time from the last one, which is also why I don't have a Barufios on, because it's such an inefficient use of a Barufios, because the time it takes you to defeat this and then you double that experience, it's just not a lot. Now granted, if you're going for that achievement, maybe you have enough Barufios to just chuck them. Maybe then, but for me, I don't. So I'm just going to be saving them for when I'm doing more of a grind session. You can see on the Draco page, I'm actually pretty far along. I have 8 out of 10 of his wands, 7 out of 15 of his the broom, the Nimbus 2001, and then 7 out of 9 on him. So I'm going to be placing him rather soon. Fenrir, I haven't seen as many. Draco's definitely more populated for me so far. All right, well, I'm going to get back out there and go a little further, grind a little bit, and then next time, hopefully, I may have already placed Draco, and then we'll see if how close I am to Fenrir as well, and any other fragments I might be able to place. All right, quick check-in. Want to finish a couple things and then we'll keep grinding away. But I wanted to play some of the image and stuff. So when I used 7 strong extimulos, used that versus one of those Dracos I just did. And then I started using regular extimulos for both the Fenrir and one of the Dracos. I just used an extimulo, and the Fenrir, I think I used 3. It was either 2 and a healing or 3. I decided to use 3 extimulos. But let's head over to the registry. I have a couple images to place, including Draco himself. Challenge registry, and then under, yeah, it's going to take me right to Draco. So Draco, 9 out of 9, and then his wand, 10 out of 10. So let's do Draco's wands first. Nice, so 3 defense against dark arts books and 80 challenge experience. I need that challenge experience. And then Draco himself, 9 out of 9. Nice, so 4 defense against dark arts books and a little bit of challenge experience. It's not a huge amount by any stretch. And then Fenrir, you can see I'm 6 out of 9, and I've got some of the other stuff going, but nothing too close. For Draco, nothing too close either. I'm still like 6 or more fragments away. But I didn't want to not place that image before I started getting some more of him, because I am seeing a lot. So anyway, back to the grind. As you can see, it is dusk. The sun is going down, so it's getting even colder outside. I'm definitely chilled down to my bones at this point. Here at Special Assignments, we can see where I am. I still haven't done any fortresses, obviously, or used an edible dark mark, enough wild spawns. 1,500 challenge experience. I got 583 simply from adversaries. Haven't done fortresses yet, and that was a bunch, so it's still not the most efficient way to do it, although I'm obviously getting there. Witch Sharpening Potion, I used 2, not on any Dracos or Fenrirs. You saw the Slither and Basilisk. I used it on that, and then I actually did a Gilderoy Lockhart, and was going to record really just the end of the battle so you could see I had fought him, but I did a crit on him at the end and did more damage than I thought I would, and he died before I could actually start my screen record. So anyway, did get a Gilderoy Lockhart. I think that was my second one and my second Basilisk as well, because I had gotten one the other day just randomly. So anyway, I've used 2 out of 3. I'll use the third one. And that's what I was going to say. I'm not using Witch Sharpenings on Malfoy or on Fenrir because I don't need it. And I'm really just going to wait and see tomorrow or maybe even later today. If I run into a Narcissa, if I run into a dragon, I'm going to use it for that anyway. So I figure I'll wait. Worst case scenario, it gets to Monday morning when this event's going to end, and then I would just throw a Witch Sharpening essentially at a Malfoy or whatever. But I can almost guarantee I'll see something else. Over here at the registry, you can see I got some more Malfoys. I built back up to 4 out of 9 out of him. I have his 10 out of 15 out of the Nimbus, Potter Stink 7 out of 15, the Prefect's Slytherin Prefect Badge 10 out of 12. So getting closer to that. But down at Fenrir, I did get 9 out of 9 of him. So let's place his image first of all. 4 defense against the dark arts books, and then like 80 challenge experience, and then his wand as well. So those are the first 2 things I filled up for both characters. His wand got me 3 defense against dark arts books and 80 challenge experience. So, and him I'm building back up as well. So, and then the Gilderoy, yeah, it was my second one, 2 out of 9. So I got some pieces of that. As you can see, I have 3 dark marks now. So I did manage to get, I was 2 at the start of the day. I haven't purchased any. One of the guards of one of the, oh no, it was Draco. It was Draco because you actually saw the highlights on that. Draco, oh, there's another adversary. I will get that in a second, I promise. But anyway, Draco dropped me an edible dark mark. That was the only one I got dropped all day. In addition, I got some gold from some guards. I got field guides from some guards, of course, but that was the only edible dark mark. So they do drop occasionally, which means you wouldn't always have to buy them. If you're continuing to hit adversaries, you're going to get them eventually. Obviously, RNG, luck varies, so you may go a ton without getting one, or you might get one pretty quickly. So I've gotten 2 so far as drops, so that's pretty good. I came back over to the registry because I do want to point out one more thing. It kind of doesn't matter, but you may be wondering about it, is when you get to a guard, a lot of times when you get to a guard, at the top of the screen it'll say fragments, and it'll say a number. So it might say, for me, it might say 7 out of 15. It might, when I go to fight a guard, a 7 out of 15. Well, the guards aren't images themselves, but essentially they're already going to drop a specific fragment. They can drop any fragment, but when you go to fight them, that fragment's already going to be established like right then. So for me, for example, on this Draco page, when I go to fight one, if it said 10 out of 15, then it means it's going to be the broom, because I'm currently 10 out of 15. It's kind of already pre-telling you which fragment you're going to get when you defeat them. So does it really matter? No, but that's why that fragment's up there. When you fight Draco or Fenrir or any of the feared adversaries, it's not going to tell you what the bonus fragment is. It's only going to tell you what they're at, whatever their image is. So if I fought a Draco, it would say 4 out of 9 fragments up top. So just a little thing that when you see that, that's what it's talking about. So far, pretty good start to the event. Definitely calling the video a day now, but I will probably play a little bit more, but it'll probably be from my car. I might hit a couple parking lots on the way home or just a couple other spots on the way home, but it's definitely getting cold enough that being outside playing may just gets a little bit too chilly to really be able to play. It also starts to drain my phone battery like crazy. In fact, right now my phone battery, this is my charger. I've had it plugged in for the last like hour, so because it really did start to drain it quickly. I hope your event is off to a good start. If not, if you can get out, again, go to a bigger park like I was able to here, Bomb Park, where I'm just seeing spawns constantly. Because really, as long as I kept moving, and I did have to keep moving, as long as I kept moving, the next area I got to always had 1 or 2 more adversaries for me. Details have come out for the second part of the Brilliant event, which will be kicking in next week. And I will have a guide coming out for that, but first we got to finish this event. Tomorrow, definitely going to grind a bit more on Saturday, and then Sunday, I really should be done with the task at that point. I don't see how I wouldn't be. So that Sunday, I can really just go after adversaries and just really try to prestige those pages as far as I can, mainly to be able to get Defense Against the Dark Arts books when you place those images and get a lot more of them. As always, thank you guys for watching today's video, and I'll see you tomorrow. Nox.